Hello, this is the game Philosopher, and today I would like to talk about the soul. The soul is something a lot of people don't understand. People think of spirits, they think of disembodied um, things. No, that's not what the soul is. In fact, a lot of people don't even understand metaphysics because of people who have given it a false rep, assuming it's like this little mystical whatever. No, it's not mystical whatever. It's about um, reality itself. And the soul, as Aristotle defines, is the first principle of all living things. The soul is divided into three capabilities: the vegetative or growth promoting, the animal or sensitive, and the rational. Out of these, the vegetative is the most physical part of the soul because it deals with things like growth promoting. And growth promoting means the ability, you're eating, you're reproducing, you're doing all these things, which not only continues your life, but you're also continuing the life of your family, of the human species in general. The sense, uh, the sensitive capacity, or the animal capacity, is more along the lines of how we perceive things, our sensation, our eyes to see, ears to hear, our hands to touch, our tongues to taste, our nose to smell. But it also goes beyond that. It's even internal sensing. So you have your imagination, which is very important. Then you have your reason. Your reason is the governing faculty of your mind. It's something that allows you to consider things. It allows you to talk. It allows you to listen and understand the difference between sounds and words, um, meaningful noise and meaningless noise. It's very important because the Greeks called the mind nous, which is also the word for intellect. And so our reason is the big thing that separates us from other animals. In fact, other animals will have sensitive and vegetative souls because they don't have a reasonable soul. So you have like dogs, but they don't talk with you. Yeah, they might seem to talk with you, but really they're trained. They don't have a natural ability to talk, really, like humans do. They can't work with their hands, they can't do much like humans can, so they don't have a rational soul, they have an irrational soul. Some people will get really angry at me for saying this, but it's true. Um, Now, from all this, what's the big deal with this? Why am I talking about this? It's because of morality. So, people a lot of times become slaves of different things, be it lust, anger, anxiety, whatever it is. You become a slave of this or that, and moral freedom would imply to be liberated from those things. And to be liberated from those things, well, you have to understand the soul. So, the vegetative part of the soul, which would want to like the reproduction and all this other stuff, and the eating, gluttony, you know, all this starts from the vegetative or the sensitive. Um, so if your eyes see something that's so attractive that you must uh, take, or that you must copulate with, or whatever, or your nose and your tongue, you smell and you taste some delightful food, your sensitive mind, or your sensitive capacity, and your vegetative capacity are working in unison as they're supposed to be. But the problem with a lot of people is they stop right there. They don't want to use the rational mind, and the rational mind loses control. And that's what happens a lot of times when we act out of our morals and ethics. We end up forgetting to use our minds, our reason, our nous, to connect ourselves to between all parts of our soul. So really, we're only using two parts of our souls. We're not using all three parts, even though we should be using all three parts. And we are disabled in the sense that we are off balance between these things, which causes us to lose the battle and become slaves to lust, slaves to gluttony, slaves to you name it. It's something that you want to avoid if you can. And yet, when you look at these things, you look carefully, you have this urge, you have to take it. Yes, the urge is strong. So what do you do with the strong urge? You wait for it. You wait 10 seconds. You wait as long as you can. The urge will go away. Or you keep reminding yourself, I'm a rational being. I'm a rational being. I don't need these things. I want these things. I don't need them. So there's that. And from these things, we also see that the soul and the body are connected. Not in a dualistic sense. In fact, the body has parts of the soul within it. In fact, the body has a soul within it. And these sense perceptions, these vegetative parts of the soul, they are firmly within the body, animating us, causing us to breathe, causing us to eat, drink, sleep, whatever we need. But as rational beings, sometimes we go too far with these things and we lose our reason. And that, like I said, that's a problem. But if you consider these things, you can actually conquer everything. Conquer everything. You do not have to be a slave to passions. And that's pretty much what the ancients have always talked about. The Stoics, the Neoplatonics, the Platonics, the Peripatetics. It's all about freedom and happiness. That's all philosophy is about, is giving you that freedom, the happiness. You're free from the fear, the dread. You're free from all these things. You become more of a rational being. As part of being a rational being, you have to conquer some of these things in the body that have caused us this type of enslavement towards the more sensitive part of the soul, or causing us to live less reasonably. And so there you have it. Like, comment, subscribe. Thank you for watching my talk on the soul and how it connects to the ethical.